Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Mosai, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So gotta give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakam Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the octave pushing this truth and believing this truth through the four winds of the earth and the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. And shalom to the outlaws who are listening and learning, to a few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando Camp coming at you another lesson. In true faith, faith, and edification, another daily edification. Lord willing to be edifying. So I titled this lesson, Tammy T, Plantation Christianity and Roman Catholicism, Salakia, and Roman Catholic dogma. Now the elder Kazak was doing a lesson last night, and this chick, which is her page name, is Tammy T. She came on the elder comment board and she said a couple things. And one of the things that she said, I got my own YouTube channel, right? So I went and checked out the chick channel because she was just speaking, talking trash out of order on the elder comment board. So I went to go see. So she said, since she wanted to be known, right? You know, gotta be, a woman gotta be heard. She just had to be known. A wicked woman gotta be heard, right? A hopeful elect woman, you know, they know how to play it. But a wicked woman just have to be made known. So I went to her page and she got a lot of videos on there. But she is bugged out. So I'm gonna pull this up. She got a lot of stuff on her page. So let me pull this up real quick. I'm gonna do some. I said I'm gonna do a lesson on this. I had a whole other lesson I was gonna do today, but since she want to be exposed, since she want to be loud, want to be made known, I'm gonna make her famous. So, and I'm gonna say this: you women that got YouTube channels, they should be sharing. They should be for sharing brother videos. You know, you reposting brother videos from Great Millstone or brothers from Men of Valor or the brother Amawan Abad or that brother Yahweh the Maccabees, a brother that's teaching the same sound doctrine. Because Yahweh Shah said, them that are not against me are with me. Just because they're not in Great Millstone don't mean they ain't with Yahweh Shema Shah. If they teaching the same sound doctrine, you women should be using your channels to share videos, man. Because you're gonna have you women gonna have followers that's gonna come on your comment boards. I mean, come on your channels and see what you got on them. And you never know what they might lead them to. So that's what when you women got YouTube channels, it should be for sharing videos, edifying videos of sound doctrine. So now what I when I first went to it, I watched some of this video here, the mark of the beast. It said the mark of the beast is only for them who allow it. Then I looked at this one right here. God and Lucifer are twin brothers. And I was like, what is this chick talking about? So I clicked on it, right? So I clicked on it. Now, let me pull up the clip. I got it right here. So I said, I'm going to do a lesson on this based on the video that she did about God and Lucifer are twin brothers. And she went into the book of Genesis 25, dealing with Esau and Jacob, right? And she also said in the video that she started reading about Cain and Abel, and she said that Cain and Abel were twins. Well, it don't say that in the scripture. Now you add to the scriptures, man. Okay? It don't say nothing about Cain and Abel was twins. But it tell you in Genesis 25 that it said Rebecca had twins in her womb. So you add to the scriptures. That's already that's off already, right? And she talking about God and calling on Jesus Christos, right? JC, that's off. So let me show you this. So right here, God and Lucifer are twin brothers, right? It's about see you at the crossroads. Now, I went to a comment board and I said, and the only reason I did this because she came on the Elder Kazak comment board talking trash, right? So right here, I said, Tammy T, could you please give me the Bible verse when Lucifer wanted to take God's throne? Because she said in the video that Lucifer wanted to take God's throne, right? Now I knew she was gonna put up Isaiah 14, 12 through 14, right? I knew she was gonna put this up. So right here, I said, make sure you can see it. Okay. So right here, I said, Tammy T, I knew you was gonna reference Isaiah 14. That's not what that is talking about. That's Roman Catholic dogma, and there is no place called hell where people burn forever. Because she also mentioned hell, right? So then I said, Tammy T, so is Satan, I said, so is Satan and Lucifer the same? She never responded, right? So this is what she said. Either way it goes, basically she responded back when I said I knew you was going to reference Isaiah 14. That's not what it's talking about. That's Roman Catholic dogma, and there is no place called hell where people burn forever. So here she responded. Now I asked her, so is Satan and Lucifer the same? Because in Isaiah 14 it talks about Lucifer, right? Well, Yahweh mentioned in Luke 10 and 18 when he said, I saw Satan fall from heaven, right? So I said, is Satan and Lucifer the same? So this is what she responded with. Either way it goes, this about to hit the fan. I knew you wasn't going to receive it plain sight. Ain't nothing else I can do. Let's all run the race. Salah, right? So she talking about she knew I wasn't going to receive the Isaiah 14. It's talking about Satan. It's talking about Lucifer, right? So then I said, no, then she said right here, she said, yes. Once he fell from grace, he was transfigured. She said he was transfiguration. He lost his beauty. Never fall from grace. You will turn ugly, right? Now remember, she said, yeah, once he fell from grace, he was transfiguration. He lost his beauty. Never fall from grace. You will turn ugly, right? So then I said, Tammy T, to understand Isaiah 14, to understand Isaiah the 14th chapter, you have to start at verse 5 and read down to verse 20. So Isaiah 14, 5 through 20, to get an entire understanding, that is talking about the rulers of this world who controls religion, money, and power, right? So then she said, I don't teach hell. I teach the place. Well, that's see right there. You double-minded. What are you talking about? She said, I don't teach hell. I teach the place. Is that not one and the same? Are you not still saying that hell is real? I don't teach hell. I teach the place. What place? Hell. That's what you teach. So she said, so with that being said, govern yourself, right? Okay. So right here I say always have, meaning govern myself. And with that said, you teaching false doctrine. That verse don't say Lucifer wanted to take God's throne in Isaiah 14. Because she said in Isaiah 14, that's talking about Lucifer wanted to take God's throne. They don't say that, right? So then she said she don't teach hell, she teach the place. So I put right here, there is no place under the earth called hell where fire burn always. I say, and in Isaiah 14, verse 16, it clearly tell you that Lucifer is a man that controls the earth and the prisons, right? So then I put up Ecclesiastes 3 and 20. It reads, I'll go into one place. If there's a hell doctrine, if there's a hell where people go and burn forever, how is the Lord saying everybody go to one place? It don't make no sense. It say Ecclesiastes 3 and 20. All go into one place, all are other dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of beast that goeth downward to the earth? Right? Then I put up Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Right? Then I put up Ezekiel 18 and 4. Behold, all souls are mine, which is just the Lord speaking. As the souls of the Father, so also the souls of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. Right? So then I said, nobody dies and go to hell. That's Roman Catholic dogma. Right? Then I said, hold on, pop up. So then I said, that's not in the Bible, Tammy. If it is, now let me go back up because she said they kind of split up because she said right here, let's go back. Right here, she said, yes, once he fell from grace, he was transfiguration, he lost his beauty. Never fall from grace, you will turn ugly, right? So then that's when I said right here, I said, that's not in the Bible, Tammy. If it is, show me the verse. Show me the verse, please. The Lord said, prove all things with scripture, right? So I said, show me the verse that say when he fell from grace, when he was transfiguration, right? I said, show me the verse. Then I put it up, First Thessalonians 5 and 21, prove all things, hold fast that which is good, right? Now, she never came back and gave me an answer. When I said, show me, when it said, let's read again. And see, hey, that's why you women shouldn't be teaching anyway, man. You shouldn't be on YouTube teaching nothing, man. So again, she said, once he fell from grace, he was transfiguration. He lost his beauty. Never fall from grace. You will turn ugly, right? Well, Israel did fall from my grace. We did fall. Then she talking about the fallen angels, right? I will listen to it. And in these two videos I watched, I just watched the one. She talking about God and Lucifer, twin brothers, and the other about the mark of the beast or whatever. Man, this is why women should not be teaching the Bible, man, at all. When I say she's bugged out, so is Satan and Lucifer the same? She never answered, right? Then I told her when she said, yeah, once he fell from grace, he was transfiguration. He lost his beauty. So I told her to show me that in the scriptures with a precept. I'm gonna show you this again. I'm gonna get some precepts. I said, that's not in the Bible, Tammy. If it is, show me the verse. Show me. I said, show me the verse, please. Right? She never responded after that. Never responded. So that let me know she don't know nothing, man. So let's get these precepts. Now, I want to show you again. I got a page pulled up and I'm finna move it out the way. Oh, Salakia. Let me show you this again before I start. Because I want to deal with this. Hey, to understand who is Satan and Lucifer is a very heavy topic, man. This is not nothing to throw around lightly because this devil have deceived our people with this, man. So a couple of main videos I watched the two. I ain't watched all of them. The mark of the beast is only for them that allow it, right? And God and Lucifer are twin brothers. And this one here, look what she say. Eating pork should be the least of your worries. I didn't watch it. I just saw the title. What is she talking about? I never watched it. Eating pork should be eating pork should be the least of your worries. Where you get that from? The least of our worries? No, it should. That's plantation Christianity. Otherwise, you might well say go ahead and eat it because it ain't no big deal. It is a big deal. Pork is a big deal. That man. So anyway, you know what? That's a whole nother lesson. So, but pork is a big deal, man. Yeah, she bugged out. It's a big deal. Pork got parasites in it for a reason, man. So let's deal. So I'm gonna start in Genesis 3 because I asked her, is Satan and Lucifer the same? She never responded. So I'm gonna start here in Genesis 3. And it reads, and in the beginning of the chapter, it say Genesis 3 and 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord Yahweh power had made, and he said unto the woman, yeah, her power said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden, right? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the tree of the fruit, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God doeth know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now, I did a lesson a while ago. This devil said the same thing in Isaiah 14. Watch this. That same line he read on Eve, this is what he said in Isaiah 14. So it's Isaiah 14 in verse 15. It say, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, right? I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. This Satan speaking right here, right? That's the same thing he told Eve. The Lord knows. He said, I will be like the Most High. Show you. So let's read it again. Genesis 3 and 5. For power do know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. You see how this devil played on with his philosophies. Now, if you understand this serpent in the garden, it's a seed line of people, right? This was Esau Edom when they had pygmy, man. Okay? What does scripture say? Ecclesiastes 4 and 16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them, even of all that have been before them, they also that come after them should not rejoice in them. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. So this serpent that was in the garden with Adam and Eve was this devil, but he had pigment then, man. Okay? They had melanin then. It's the same people. It's called, I did a lesson a few years ago. I found an article, and the guy called, uh, it was titled Cain and the Serpent Seed Line, right? Because Esau Edom is the seed line of Satan, right? Which is called today the Luciferians, right? So when you go to Isaiah 14, that word Lucifer is not talking about Satan. That's why I asked her, and she never answered me. Is Satan and Lucifer the same person? Because if you say yeah, you are not knowing the scriptures. And we're going to prove it right here in Genesis. I had to make those points to show you that the same lie that Satan told Eve in the garden, he said it himself in Isaiah 14. Well, his seed said it. Because in Isaiah 14, this is talking about his seed ruling the earth. So this Genesis 3 and 14 show you how the Lord set things up, man. And if you don't understand these parables, these allegories, these dark sayings, these mysteries, these similitudes, you'll never understand it, man. Right? Genesis 3 and 14. This is the Lord talking to this serpent seed line in the garden. In the garden, there were many nations. Okay? Ecclesiastes 4 and 16 said, them that were before them. There was always 18 nations of people, man. Okay? Adam and Eve was not the only two in the garden, man. It say, and the Lord Yahweh said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shall thou go. On your belly, meaning you're the bottom, you're the basis of men. When you read in Job 30, and when you read Job 30, 1 through 8, and when you read Daniel 4 and verse 17, it tell you that the Lord set up the basis of men to rule the earth. That's why they faces on the money. That's why they make the laws. That's why they own everything. No Israelites don't own no Whole Foods, no car dealerships, no clothing stores, none of that, right? The earth was given to the hand of the wicked, as it tell you in Job 9:24. This was the Lord saying to this seed line of people that was going to come on the earth and deceive the world with their philosophies, with their doctrine. And the Lord Yahweh said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above every cattle and above every beast of the field. So out of all the 18 nations, the Lord telling this serpent seed line, you curse out of all these nations, right? It say, upon thy belly shall I go, meaning to be the basis of men, and dust represents confusion, and dust shall thy eat all the days of thy life. Serpents, snakes can't eat dust. It's clearly telling you this ain't talking about no snake. Serpents can't eat dust and live, man. Right? This is the point. Verse 15. Because plantation Christianity will not teach you that Satan has a physical seed on earth. Genesis 3 and 15. The Lord still talking to the serpent. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. So this saying right here that the serpent have a seed, right? The serpent got a seed. Again, the Lord say, Genesis 3 and 15, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. So is it talking about Eve? It's not talking about Eve, because a woman doesn't have seed. Seed, sperm come from the man. So who is the Lord talking to here? He's talking about the nation of Israel, okay, against the nation of Edom. It's plain. So it said again, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed. He talking to the serpent now, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. Right? It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So the serpent have a seed line, according to the Bible. Now, before I go to Isaiah 14, I said, prove to me, show me in the scriptures, right, that Satan fell from heaven, right? She said Isaiah 14 and 12. I said, I knew you was going to reference that scripture. That's not what that's talking about. When you go to Job, this is Job 2 and 1. Now Satan fell from out of heaven, right? The spiritual realm, where the heavenly Father Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, is sitting on the thrones at. If Satan fell from heaven, right? Why would this say this in Job 2? This is Job 2 and 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. Now, if Satan fell from heaven, how can Satan present himself to the Lord? Because she said he fell from grace, right? She said he fell from grace. He was transfiguration, right? And he lost his beauty. So that if that's the case, that means Satan could present himself before Yahweh, right? That's impossible. If Satan fell down to the earth from out of heaven, that means he can't go back. Because if he could, he would have been went back. We agree? Right. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. How is this possible if Satan fell from heaven? Satan never fell from heaven, man. The spiritual demon Satan is still in the heavens on the left hand side of the Lord, man, waiting for the Lord to give him a bid. Yeah, bro. Yeah, come. So, verse 2. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. So that means the Lord is letting Satan go through the earth and jump and do wicked deeds, man, because that's Satan's lot. He wasn't cast down. Satan is able to go back and forth, man, because he's doing the bidding for the Lord. If you understand what's going on, he wasn't kicked out of heaven, man. How can you get kicked out and then just go back up there willy nilly, man? That's going against Yahweh Shema Shah. It say, and the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth power and eschewed evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. So the Lord asking Satan, has he considered his servant Job? Why? Because Job represented the elect. Job represented the elect going through trials and tribulations, adversities and afflictions, but never breaking. You see? So the point is Satan controlled by the Lord or not? Yes, he is. Satan just on the left hand side of the Lord, waiting to get a bid, man. The Lord tell him to go do something, he do it. Now, let's get Isaiah 14. Because when you read these scriptures, now remember, Satan caused Eve and Adam to sin, right? He caused Eve and Adam to go against the word of the Lord, which caused them to sin. Well, what do the scriptures call Esau Edom? It calls him, actually, what does it call the serpent? It all linked together. The scriptures called that serpent that deceived Eve and Adam, called him what? A man of sin. What did he make Eve and Adam do? He made them sin against the Lord, right? Well, it's the scripture that tell you the man of sin shall be revealed, the son of perdition. And it's talking about Esau, Edom. That same serpent seed line that was in the garden with Adam and Eve, man. Now, this is Isaiah 14. And to understand Isaiah 14, you got to start at verse 5. And it reads, actually, you got to start at verse 4. It reads, it say that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. Who is the king of Babylon? Well, today, North America is known as Babylon the Great in the Bible. Who controls North America? Who controls the planet? Job 9:24 say the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, right? It said the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked according to the Bible? So before we get that, let's establish who's the wicked according to the Bible. Because the wicked is the seed line of the serpent, man. The Lord said he was going to put enmity between him and the woman, between the serpent seed line and the woman. So that means that the serpent, whoever this serpent is that was in the garden with Adam and Eve, that means that serpent has a seed line of children. That's what the Lord said. I'm gonna put enmity between thy seed and her seed. What's he talking about? Ain't talking about no seed for planting no plants and trees. It's talking about the seed line of the serpent, which is kids. Okay? So let's get this. Now remember, we got to keep dealing with this. Genesis 3 and 14. See, and when you read these scriptures, there are buzzwords you have to listen to. Buzzwords. Genesis 3 and 14. And the Lord Yahweh said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle. This ain't talk about horses and lambs and sheep and goats and lions and bears. Just talk about cattle, meaning we all cattle, people. Again, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle. Okay? He didn't tell the serpent, you are cursed above all the other serpents, above all the other snakes. You understand? And the Lord said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. It didn't say all the snakes and all the reptiles on the earth. You got to understand. He didn't say reptiles. He said cattle and beasts. There are different names. There are different names from crickets and cows, from snakes and ox. Okay? You got beasts and reptiles. You got to understand what's going on. Thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon the belly shall thou go, upon thy belly shall thou go, meaning to be the basis of men, the lowest of the low, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. He said, thou art cursed, right? So we're dealing with the buzzword cursed. Let's deal with this. This is Proverbs 3 and 33, and it reads, the curse of the Lord, listen, the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. So now we need to establish who is the wicked that the Lord is talking about on the earth. He told the serpent in Genesis 3, you are cursed above every cattle, upon every beast of the field, right? As a matter of fact, show you that the Lord talking about men. This is Ecclesiastes 3. Let's get this. Because this is for edification's sake, and it must needs be read. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 18. I said in my heart concerning the estates of the sons of men that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. You see, that they themselves are beasts. For that which befall the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befalleth them, as one dieth, so dieth the other. Yeah, they all have one breath, so that a man have no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. So the Lord say, concerning the state of the sons of men, that power might manifest them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts. Okay? So now we understand when the Lord said they are cursed. He said, thou art cursed above all cattle upon every beast of the field. He's talking about one nation of people. Let's go back. Proverbs 3 and 33. The curse of the Lord Yahweh is in the house of the wicked, but he blessed the habitation of the just. So who is the house of the wicked that the Lord said he cursed? This is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord through Israel by Malachi. I loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? And you read about this, Tammy T, by Esau and Jacob. Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And they did when they came out of the caves in the 1300s. And when they came out of the caves and from the mountains of Georgia, Russia over there in Petra, when they came out of the caves, they rebuilt the desolate places. That's why we got cities all around the world. Why? Because Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, controls every country. Who controls the money? Who make law? Who make policy? It say, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them who Edom, the border of wickedness, the people, not Esau by himself, the people, the whole seed line of the serpent, the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. It say, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. He said he hate Esau, right? This is Isaiah 34. Had to make this plain so you can understand who we're dealing with. Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is another way to say Edom, the so-called white man. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, not the spiritual realm of heaven where the heaven follow his son at. No, the sky is known as a heaven. This earth, who's ever in rulership, this is known as their heaven. I'm sure we all have heard the saying, this is the white man's heaven and the black man's hell. We all have heard that. It say the sword, it said, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, which means talking about this earth. It shall come down upon Idumea, which is the Greek word for Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The people of the Lord curse to judgment. So we still dealing with that buzzword curse in Genesis 3 and 14. Okay? That's who we dealing with. Now, we go to Isaiah 14. It's Isaiah 14. It start at verse 4. Because it tell you, it say that thou should take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. When you look this word king of Babylon, when you look up Lucifer right here in Isaiah 14, it's talking about the king of Babylon. Who is the king of Babylon? Who controls the earth right now? Who face is on the money? I love to bring that out in Matthew 22 when the Messiah said, bring him a penny and show him the tribute money. And he said, who faces on the money? And they said, Caesar's in Matthew 22 and 19. He said, Caesar's. So he said, render to Caesar what is Caesar's. Who faces on your money right now? It's these same people back in reincarnation, the so-called white man. That's who faces on our money, man. It's the same people, man. So it say that thou should take up this power against the king of Babylon, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and say, how have the oppressor ceased? Who's been oppressing so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians for the longest of time? Who's been going into all these other countries, setting up their garrisons? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, North America, Babylon the Great, have over 800 military bases around the world. And that's why it's about to go down with Russia, man. Because they trying to establish another garrison, which they already have one, in Ukraine, man. They want to set up more garrisons in Ukraine. That's what this is about, man. These devils trying to set up more garrisons over there, man. And say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord have broken the staff of the wicked. And tell you the Lord have broken the staff of the wicked. That's why we able to go out there to the highways and the hedges and push this gospel, man. And they can't do nothing about it, man. Ain't no more ride around on pickup trucks, lynching Jakes. Ain't no more of that, man. That now the Lord, and he said he broken the staff for the wicked, man. And the scepter of the rulers. That's why you gotta understand when you read Isaiah 14, it's not talking about the spirit of demon Satan, man. It's talking about his seed line. It say the Lord have broken the staff for the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, man. What rulers? Take it in Ephesians 6. The rulers of this world, man. Spiritual wickedness in high places, man. It ain't talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about his physical seed line on earth. It say, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger. Satan ain't ruling the nations in anger in the spiritual realm. He got a physical seed on earth doing that. Tammy T. It say, and the only reason I'm doing this lesson on Tammy T because she came on Elder Kazak video last night talking trash, man. Talking about she got her own channel. Y'all want to check it out, and you bugged out with your plantation Christianity, your Roman Catholicism, man, your Roman Catholic dogma, man. It say, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger. Who did this? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That's why they have over 800 military bases around the world, man. Everywhere. It say, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. You see? Meaning they are now going down. This is a future prophecy, meaning they was destroyed, right? The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. It say, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. To do what? To cut down the trees anymore, man. So even the trees gonna rejoice when the wicked rulers of the earth go down. Even the trees gonna rejoice. Because the Lord gave us a law in his Bible that you don't supposed to cut down every tree, man. It's only certain trees you're supposed to cut down. The rest you want to leave up, man, for oxygen. Okay? You're supposed to be just cut down all the trees. Hey, shalom to the occupant Atwaf, shalom to the elder, but not the Zatba, shalom, Yahweh Shema Shabba, Shem Krakadas, Brakathum. The one for tuning in. And say, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, No feller has come up against us. Hey, Salaki, give me one moment. Salaki kind of got clogged up. And I put this Vicks under my nose, man. I was under the weather, getting over it now. So back to Isaiah 14. It says Isaiah 14 and 8. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. It say, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Oh, that's another thing. She talking about hell. Now she said, I showed you, you read it with me. She said, I said, hell's not a place. She said, I don't teach hell. I teach the place. What are you talking about? It's the same difference. I don't teach hell. I teach the place. It's the same thing. And there is no place called hell. North America, Babylon the Great is going to be hell when the missiles get shot over here, man. Because all this going to be on fire. It say, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. It say, even all the chief ones of the earth. It say, it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So that's why there's a problem at the UN right now. It's a back and forth with EU and NATO nations with North America, man, because they are not on one accord. As I tell you in Daniel's 2, it said, what? They shall mingle, talking about Esau, Edom, the serpent seed line. It said they shall mingle with the other nations, but they shall not cleave one to another. In Daniel's chapter 2, man, I think it's verse 43, right? So these other nations is really not with this devil. Obadiah 1 and 7 tell you that all the men of that confederacy have brought thee to the border. So it say, even all the chief ones of the earth, it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. Everybody's tired of this devil being a bully, man. Going into their places, going into their land, taking all their resources. Listen, it say, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become weak as we? Because remember, there was a point in time when North America, Babylon the Great, only had atom bombs, man, right? They only had nuclear capability, man, right? First they had the atom bombs, right? The Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they dropped bombs on. NATO dropped bombs on Bosnia and Yugoslavia, right? That's what I tell you, Revelations, how he made fire come down from heaven, right? That's him dropping bombs on the other nations. No other nation had this technology. No other nation had this but North America, man. Right? So it say, all they shall speak and say unto thee, who is the all they? The other nations now that have missiles. The other nations now that have military power. Everybody's coming against these devils in North America now. It say, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Yeah, North America becoming weak because everybody got missiles now. Every nation got missiles. Every nation got military power now. Every nation got money now. It says that pump is brought down to the grave. Your power, your pride, your rulership, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worm covered thee. And show you, I love to bring this out. What happened with Antiochus Epiphanes? Worms destroyed that guy. What happened to Herod the Great? Worms destroyed that guy. And they was both Job 9 and 24. They was both of the serpent seed line. It say, now, reading all that from verse 4, Isaiah 14 and 4, down to verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? It said all the other nations is going to talk trash to you, saying how you come weak like we. Why? Because now the Lord gave all the other nations military power, man. All the other nations got missiles now. North America's not the only one that had missiles. What you understand is The elites control the world using North America, man. North America is their cash cow. They sit back in other countries because none of the elites live in America, not one of them. All these elites, they control the world from North America, man. They say, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? And this Lucifer, light bearer, is talking about the Luciferian, man. Okay? The illuminated ones. They call big all seeing eye the big brothers, right? You always see the sign when they say Uncle Sam want you, right? Big brother is watching. That's what it means to be a Luciferian, man. The all seeing eye, man. I mean, you people in 2022, you can't be this stupid, man. In 2022, man, talk about Lucifer fell from heaven. Well, is Lucifer and Satan the same? Because I never got an answer on that. And I ain't gonna get one. Because your ass don't know. They say, how did I fall from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? How are you cut down to the ground? This ain't talking about Satan falling from heaven. It's talking about these people who control the planet. They are falling out of their rulership, their power. The dollar is crashing. The economy is collapsing. The Lord got a pestilence going on through the earth. Rather you say the so-called white man set it up or not, it's through it. It's Yahweh Shema Shah, man. He's bringing down these devils' power. Because he said, the Lord said, he was going to expose these devils. He said in Isaiah, in Jeremiah 49 and 10, he was going to make Esau bare, and he shall not be and he will not be able to hide himself. So now everybody know how wicked these devils is, what they do, how they live. They drink blood, they eat raw meat, right? They tear they snatch up kids, right? They snatch up. That's why a lot of kids come up missing every year. They snatch up kids, terrify them, and get the adrenochrome out of them, and they drink their blood, man. Because they say when they do that, they got to terrify the kids first to get their adrenaline up. They drink the blood because they say that keeps them young, man. Well, the world know that you do these things. Human trafficking, all this, man. You fill up truckload full of guns and drop them off into the neighborhoods, and Jake run across the truckload full of guns, and now Jake out here killing each other. Well, who did that? Esau Edom did that, man. The so-called white man put these guns in the hood, a whole bunch of guns on a truck with no lock on it, cause they know how Jake loved her. That's Jake. Jake knows it. Now Jake run across a whole truckload full of guns. And any nigga wonder about how Jake got these guns in the hood. How Jake got these little Glock switches that go on back in the guns to make the gun to a fully auto. It's because of the devil, man. It's because of them that's in rulership, which is the serpent seed line, man. The so-called white man, Esau Edom, is the physical seed of Satan, man. I read it to you in Genesis 3. The Lord said he's going to put enmity between thy seed and her seed. That's between the seeds of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the Edomites, and the seed of Israel, man, the Israelites. There's a separation between us and them, man. That why you think, and you read it in your lesson, Tabby T, why they was fighting in the womb. Why? Because they were separated from the beginning, man. It tell you when you read it, they were separated from the bowels, man. And one people shall be stronger than the other people. That's why these devils hate us. Because we stronger than them. The so-called white man hates your guts. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, because we are stronger than them. Mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever. We stronger than them, period, man. On every aspect, man. Back in Isaiah 14. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. What heavens? The skies, with his planes, his jets, his helicopters, his space station, his rockets. But thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into the heavens. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. What's the stars of God? It ain't talking about the stars in the sky, man. If you understand these precepts, that's why I told these scriptures is done through allegories, similitudes, dark sayings, parables. When you read the Revelation, it tell you that the dragon took a third of the angels, Salakia, that the dragon took a third of the stars with his tail. This ain't talking about no real dragon that's blowing out fire with a big tail. It's talking about the Roman Empire, man. And the third of the stars that the dragon took with his tail, it's talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the so-called Negro tribes, what they say, the so-called Jews, right? Judah, the so-called Negroes, Benjamin, the so-called Jamaicans, and Levi, the so-called Haitians. That's the third of the stars that the dragon took with his tail when you read in Revelation. So right here when they say, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. The stars are talking about the Israelites. Okay? His throne, he controls, is with the authority that he has. Isaac blessed Esau, the so-called white man, to rule by the sword. And he shall have dominion over the earth. That's in Genesis 27th chapter. You can go and read it. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, which is what? Controlling the world through his religion, his Roman Catholic dogma. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. What's the sides of the north? Right here in North America, Babylon the Great, man. Who controls religion? The so-called white man do. Roman Catholic Church is the number one religion on the planet, man. And that's why I tell you, Revelation 16, John said he saw come out of the mouth of the dragon, right? Three unclean spirits, right? And one was the false prophet, which is who? The Roman Catholic Church, man. And every other church on the planet Earth, every other church, I don't care if it's Methodist, Pentecostal, Protestant, Baptist, Jehovah Wickedness, I don't care what it is, Seventh day Adventists, they all come from the Roman Catholic Church, man. The so-called white man controls all religions. If you didn't know this, you must have been living on no rock. I will also exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. What north is saying if Lucifer fell? What sides of the north is he? Where he at? Why we can't see him? Who is Lucifer that you referring to? Because this Lucifer are the Luciferians, the ones who control your money, the ones whose face is on your money. It say, verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. As I mentioned, with his planes, his jets, his helicopters, mainly, first and foremost, his technology. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. And they playing God every day. Heart transplants, blood transfusions, right? Uh, healing dementia and Alzheimer's and paraplegics and quadriplegics and whatever it is, they playing God, right? With their technology. It say, yet, this is the Lord saying, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. The word hell, when you look it up, it means a condition, a judgment, or the grave. We all have heard a person say, man, I call hell today. Or you heard another person say, I've been catching hell all week. Hell is a condition, it's a judgment. When you read in Jonah 2, Jonah said, the Lord heard me out of the belly of hell. So when Jonah was in the well, he said he was in hell. Was he burning? Was he on fire? No. Let's get that. Because she talking about she don't teach hell, but she teach the place. What? What are you talking about? That's double-minded. It's the same difference. This Jonah 2 and 1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord Yahweh, his power out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of my affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. So was Jonah in hell, burning up in the fish's belly? No, man. He was in a condition. The Lord had threw him in a condition because he tried to run from going to Nineveh to push the word of the Lord, to push the word of our Lord, man. So the Lord put him in a condition that he couldn't get out of. So back in Isaiah 14, these Christians love to run to Isaiah 14 and say Satan fell from heaven. Satan is the spiritual demon Satan never fell from heaven, man. He got his physical seed down here on earth doing his bit. That's what the word Lucifer means. Okay? Light bearers. When you look the word up, it means light bearers, man. Them that control the wisdom of the earth, man. The light. Light is supposed to represent knowledge, truth. So who controls the truth, the so-called truth of this world, man? You got to go to their colleges, right? If you want to learn something, you got to go to their theological seminaries. If you want to be a minister, right? You want to make it in life, you got to go to their colleges. That's where their knowledge is. You got to go to Cambridge or Harvard or somewhere, right? That's what it's talking about. It say, this is verse 16, and I put this on a comment board. Because it's still, now we at verse 16, and it's still talking about verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Meaning, how are the so-called white people falling out of their rulership? That's why there is no more middle class. You either on top with the elites or you on the bottom with us. You either on top with the elites or you on the bottom living like so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. It's either one or two. They're no more middle class. And that's why you see a lot of these so-called white people starting to revolt against their governments. Why? Because they ain't getting a part of the bag they used to get. They ain't getting that piece of the pie that they used to get. You see? Now it ain't all about all white pies. No, it's about all elite pies now. Because now you regular so-called white people, you on the bottom with us Negroes now, Latinos and Native Americans. Now you complaining like we was complaining. You see, that's Deuteronomy 37. The Lord say all the curses that fell upon the Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, is falling upon our enemies now. Now you got Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans riding around in Benzes and Lexuses and Chargers and Challengers, Hellcats. And you see the so-called white man riding around in a bucket, smoking, like the head's about to blow in the car, right? You see so-called white people living in trailer parks. And you see so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans living in nice neighborhoods. Like, even though they wicked, they live in nice houses, right? Nice little condos. Yeah, the Lord is turning things right side up now, man. Understanding who you're dealing with. You're not dealing with the spiritual demon Satan. You're dealing with his physical seeds on earth. Okay? Let me get this as I said that. This is Ephesians 6. And that's why you should be teaching. You women, if you got a YouTube channel, it should be to repost brothers' videos. Start with Great Millstone, Apostle and Elders, Bishop, Elder Bishops, brother videos from Great Millstone. That's what you should be doing with your channel. Posting up videos. Not trying to do your own videos thinking you on some level. Yeah, he losing bad, bro. These so-called white people is losing bad. They hot, man. And they only can be hot with their own government. Because how y'all got all the money, the elites got zillions, trillions, zillions of dollars. How you got so-called white people living on the street homeless? Hey, in the kingdom of heaven, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians is back on top under Yahweh, our Lord and Savior. You'll never see a homeless Israelite. When King David was in rulership, when King David and Solomon had their time to reign, there was never a homeless Israelite, man. When King David ate, everybody ate, man. How you got these elites? Got billions. I'm sorry, they got trillions of dollars. Possibly, you know what? They got zillions of dollars, man. Zillions. Why is there homeless Edomites out here on the earth, man? Because they don't care about you, man. Because it's a dog eat dog world, man. And as I tell you in Habakkuk 2, they can never be satisfied, man. So this is Ephesians 6 in verse 11. It reads, put on the whole armor of God that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Listen, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Who we dealing with? The elites, man. This is 2 Corinthians 4 and 3. It reads, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Why? In whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. Who is the God of this world? It's the so-called white man. Everybody know that. Where you been at, Tabby T? Everybody know that. So back in back in Isaiah 14 and 16, remember verse 12 say, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Right? This is verse 16. Isaiah 14 and 16. It say, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? How did Esau Edom, this man right here, Lucifer, make the earth tremble? He dropped bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They dropped bombs on Bosnia and Yugoslavia. They even dropped bombs on Black Wall Street. When we had to establish something to ourselves and had it going on, we had our own banks, our own grocery stores, our own car lots in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you don't know about it, go look it up, Tammy T. What did they do? They dropped bombs on it and burnt it up. That was fire coming down from heaven when you read in Revelation. Okay? These devils. It say, verse 17. Also, I love to mention, the beginning rulership of the so-called white man was with Alexander the Great. It say his army was so vast when they walked, the ground used to tremble. When you read it, First Maccabees, when it tell you that he destroyed everybody to the point the earth was quiet before him, man. Okay, so it said again, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? He destroyed every stronghold. It tell you Alexander the Great did, man. In verse 17. Now, this don't sound like who controlled the earth to you. You got to be lost. Verse 17 say, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof. Who got chemtrails and fossil fuel and GMO foods and contaminated waters everywhere? Who passed the laws of a transformer to run all around the world? Who did this? Who did this? There's only one nation of people that passed laws for the LGBTQP to just run around the earth and do whatever they want to do. They call it the Equality Acts. That's against the Lord. Who passed those laws though? It say that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the city thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners. Who owned the prisons? That should be plain to you right there. Who owned prisons? Who owned the prisons? So-called white man. It say, verse 18, all the kings of the earth, Salakia, all the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory, everyone in his own house. Why? Because when these devils go down, the earth will be at rest, man. Now, this is Second Thessalonians, because in the garden, right? This serpent that was in the garden, which was Esau Edom when he had pigment, he still had melanin then, before the Lord took his pigment away. What did he do? He beguiled Eve to sin against the Lord. Well, That serpent seed line, they have a name in the Bible. This is Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Why is he called a man of sin? You know what sin means? Let's get this. First, let's get what sin means. This is First John 3 and 4. It reads, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law, right? So the Bible called this man of sin, the son of perdition, right? This is Isaiah 24 and 5. So again, who make laws? Who make policy? It's a so-called white man. It's Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also was defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they, who? The one who controlled the earth, because they have transgressed the laws. That's the man of sin. What is sin? Transgressing the law. Hold on. Let's read it again. First John 3 and 4. Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. So, this man of sin, he did what? Let's read it. Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they, who, the serpent seed line, have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the heavens of the earth are burned, and few men left. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth. Why? Because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. What law did they change? They transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance. Of what? What the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, had already established in the earth. Like not eating pork. Since you said in one of your videos, pork is the least. Hold on. Let's go back and hold on. Let's get that. Let's pull this up again, what she said in that video. What it said, pork should be the least of your worries. Let's show it. You see it right here? Can you see it? Right here. Let me make sure you can see it. Right here. You see it? Yeah, that's what she say. Eat pork should be the least of your worries and what? And holidays. Eat pork should be the least of your worries and holidays. What are you talking about? Ain't no least of nothing. Eating pork is heavy, man. Going against the laws of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. So, who told you can eat pork? Who told you that? Who made you eat pork? The so-called white man. That started the Greek Empire. We was forced to eat pork. Now here we is in 2022. You don't got to eat pork, and Jake still eat it anyway. You not get forced. We had our forefathers got put to death because they wouldn't eat pork. Jake today eating it willingly, man. You're supposed to eat pork, shrimp, crabs, and lobsters. No shellfish, no catfish. They all bottom feeders. No shrimps. None of that. None of that, man. They're bottom feeders. And that's the smallest of the law that we can keep. The Lord gave us a dietary menu. And not eating those things is the smallest of the law that we can keep. Why are you still eating it, Jake? So, back in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, because now the man of sin has been revealed, man. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth, which is to be total opposite of everything that the Lord set up, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, you see, controlling the religions, showing himself that he is God. And who controls the religions of the earth? The so-called white man do. All of them. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what we hold him, that he might be revealed in his time. Right? This is the time for the devil to be revealed. For the mystery of iniquity do already work. Only he who now letteth will let, which is Yahweh Shema Shai, let these devils do what they do, because the more they do things, the more they get revealed. Now we really understand who we're dealing with. It say, until he be taken out of the way, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Listen, verse 10, verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Why? Because they are the physical seeds of Satan, man. They come to do the bid of Satan, their spiritual father. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, it said God shall send them strong delusions that they should believe a lie. And most of our people believe what plantation Christianity tell them, man. And therefore the Lord say, you shall believe a lie. Because the truth is here. Now, in second, man, my nose stopped up. In 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and 13, it reads this. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. You see, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers, who? Satan ministers, which is who? His children, Esau, even the so-called white men. Therefore it's no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as ministers of righteousness, whose ears shall be according to their works, which is double wicked deeds in the earth, man. It say who'd make the world a wilderness. Who's making the world a wilderness? Who's cutting out the trees? Who destroyed the waters? Who got chemtrails in the air? Who created GMO foods and contaminated waters, man? There's only one nation of people that's doing this. Now, the Lord said this in Luke 10 and 18. And I went into this about a couple weeks ago. I went into that word Satan, right? With Satan be adversary, right? That word light was saying Satan had transformed into an angel of light. That word light, it went into illuminated one. Okay? Who are the real illuminated ones on the earth? The Israelites, the real light bearers, the real ones that bring truth and knowledge. The Lord said he gave us his law, statutes, and commandments in Deuteronomy 4. Matthew 5 said we supposed to let our light shine, right? So these devils had transformed to being us. What they say with Israel, they call themselves the Jews. Well, the Jews are Negroes, Jamaicans, and Haitians. Okay? That's who the Jews is. That's 3 tribes. What about the other 10 tribes? There's 12 tribes of Israel. Well, why they call themselves the Jews over there? What are the other 10 tribes at? If they're the people of the Lord over there in the land of Israel. It's 12 tribes, not just 3, right? What they did, and I just read, they have transformed themselves into angels of light, man. Talking about they got the truth. Come to church. The Lord said he don't deal in those churches, man. In Jeremiah 5 and Jeremiah 5 and 7. He called the churches harlot houses, man. So these devils have transformed themselves into the angels of light, man. When they're really angels of darkness. So I went into the word, right? The word Satan, which is adversary, Lucifer, light bearer, illuminated one. Same difference. The word Lucifer in Isaiah 14, and that word light in second Corinthians that says Satan transformed into an angel of light. It go into the word illuminated ones, man. Illuminati. Okay? Luciferians of the earth, man. When you go to, as a matter of fact, let's get this. I'm gonna close up. Hebrews 10 and 32 reads this. Let me get the blue letter. Show you what I'm talking about. Let's go to the blue letter. See, these things are important to know, man. And you gotta look up these words. Let's get this. My nose stopped up, but I don't even care. I'm gonna breathe through my mouth right now. This is Hebrews 10 and 32. It reads, Hebrews 10 and 32. But call to remembrance the former days in which, after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of affliction. It's talking to the Israelites. It say, but call to remembrance the former days in which ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of affliction. Look at this word illuminated. So I want you to listen. Listen.
Strong's G 5461. Fortizo. Fortizo.
Now the word is fortizo. It said to give light, to shine, to enlighten, light up, illumine, to bring to light. It said to cause something to exist and does come to light and become clear to all. And that's what we are. That's what this truth is. That's what Yahweh Shemar Shai has done. He's putting truth back in the earth now, right? On the left hand side, that's what the wicked elites do. They call themselves the Luciferians. Okay? They're the all-seeing eye, big brother, all-seeing eye. To enlighten, it says spiritually imbued with saving knowledge. With saving knowledge. Because this truth is how we're going to, this truth is how you save your soul, man. Through the mercy of Yahweh Shema Shah. It say to instruct, to inform, teach, to give understanding to, right? Give light, bring to light, lighten, enlighten, light, illuminate, make to see what? John 8 and 32 said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, right? The Lord said in Revelations 3 and 20, no, Revelations 3 was that 15, that he gave us eye salve, that we may be able to see, right? Now, it said to illuminate, right? I'm going to show you something. So you go to 2 Corinthians 11. Now remember the word right there for illuminate said for tizo. Remember that word. 2 Corinthians 11, right? And 14. Let's look at this word light right here. 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Watch this. This word light, look.
Strong's G 5457. Phos. Phos.
Now you see, the last one said fatizo. This one said false. It's a light, the light emitted by a lamp, a heavenly light such as surrounding angels when appear. No, no, it's a anything emitted light, a star, right? In Isaiah 14, how thou fall from heaven, right? Oh, Lucifer, son of the morning, morning star, right? It's a star fire because it is light, it sheds light, brightness, lamp. It's the power of understanding, especially moral and spiritual truth. Now, right here, when you scroll down, it say luminous, right? Let me see. This is another word. It say
Strong's G 5316. Fino. Fino.
It say to bring forth into the light, called to shine, shed light. To shine, be bright. It say to become evident, to be brought forth into the light, come to view, appear. Right? Let's go back. So right here, the strong definition, it got two words, two numbers. Right? Let's play this one.
Strong's G 5346. Femi. Femi.
It said to make known what thoughts, to declare, to say. Right? All going back into having light. Right? Now, I'm going to get this one in Isaiah, show you the difference. Isaiah 14 and 12. It say, Isaiah 14 and 12, how thou fall from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground which did weaken the nations. Now look at this word Lucifer. It say,
Strong's H 1966. Haleo. Haleo.
it say light bearer, shining one, morning star. It say of the king of Babylon and Satan. You see? Of the king of Babylon and Satan, the morning star. Now, let's get this.
Strong's H 1984. Halal. Halal.
It said to shine, to flash forth light, right? It say glory, shine, give. So that's another word. That's another word. Now, oh, hold on. Bear with me, Slakia. Let me go back. It was one more. Let me go back to this. Let me hit this again. It's back in 2 Corinthians 11, right? And 14. And yeah, 14. It say, um, no, hold on. So it say 2 Corinthians 11:14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. You see, what works, man? Wickedness in the earth. Everything they do is wickedness, right? Let's get this. 2 Thessalonians 2. I want to look this up real quick. It say, even him, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So, who is this? Who is the worker that's coming? Who is this that he's following the same steps as Satan? Gonna read it again. Ephesians 6 and 11. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. You see? So we ain't dealing with anybody, man. We're dealing with the physical seeds of Satan. Oh, let's get this. This is Ecclesiasticus 33 and 10. It reads this. And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge, the Lord hath divided them and made their ways diverse. Some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them have he sanctified and set near himself, which are the Israelites. But some of them have he cursed. But some of them have he cursed and brought low. What's brought low? On your belly and turned out of their places. You see that? So it's a nation of people again that's cursed in the earth. And their lot is to do the will of their father, man. That spiritual demon, Satan. So, Lord willing, man. Lord willing is edifying. Lord willing. Um, oh, that's what I'm finna get. See? Call out how about Shema Shah. Luke 10. That's what I was finna get. In the blue letter. That's what it was I wanted. So this is Luke 10. Going to the blue letter so we can read the word. Uh yeah. Luke 10 and 18. It reads, this is the Lord say. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. What does this mean? Meaning falling out of rulership, out of their power seat, man. So let's look this word up. It said fall as lightning, right?
Strong's G 796. Astrape. Astrape.
Let's say lightning of the gleam of a lamp, lightning, light shining. It say lightning, bright, shining. Let me see this word. To lighten, to flash as lightning. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So this again is talking about the spiritual demon Satan, his seed that's on earth, man. They're falling out of rulership. So right here in when you go back to the word cursed and being brought low in Genesis 3 and 14 it said, cursed should not be above every cattle, every beast of the field, and on thy belly shall thou go, right? So this is Job 30 and 1. It reads, but now they are younger than I, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have sit with the dogs of my flock. Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished, for want and famine they were solitary, fleeing in the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes. If you know anything about the mallow root, that's what the marshmallows. And you know these devils love to sit around the fire and eat s'mores. Okay, this ain't no coincidence. It said who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meats. Listen, it say they were driven forth from among men. They cry after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth. What does Caucasian mean? Caucasian literally mean cave dweller. It say to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. See, most of these regular so-called white people don't know about this, man. They don't know about this history. They don't know that they came from the caves, man. Just like you got a lot of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians that's born in America, that's born in the islands. They don't know that they come from Israel because we was born here. They don't know that, man. So most of these so-called white people, they don't know that they come from the caves until they go look their history up. Then they find out they came from Mount Seir. From Mount Sinai went to Petra over there in Georgia, Russia, man. Okay, go look up, go to Google and type in Petra, man. Why you think downtown Washington or any downtown city got the columns on the buildings like the White House, right? Like the Senate House, like the Pentagon. Why you think they got the columns on the buildings like that, man? They're used to the rocks, man. They're used to mountains, caves. Why you think we got sidewalks everywhere, man? Sidewalks and asphalt streets. Because we remind them of the caves, man. Ain't no coincidence, man. You people just don't understand. You just don't know this. Unless you go search it out, you'll never find it. It say they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they braid. You know what braid mean? Let's look at the word braid real quick. Look it on Google. Let's get Google. Let's look at the word braid and see what it says.
Bray.
It say this what it got for braid. It say hee haw. It say nay, whinny, hee haw. It say speak or laugh loudly and harshly, they say. So it got similar words. It say roar, bellow, right? He brayed with laughter. Look, here go the original one. It say of a donkey or a mule utter a bray. So these devils didn't even have a language, man. Okay? It say of a donkey or mule. It say hee haw. That's cold. It say they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. And they are thieves. These devils have done nothing but rape, rob, murder, pillage, and plunder the entire planet, man. Start with you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. That's where they come from. Among the bushes they braided, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were violent in the earth. So I said they were children of base men. That's why the Lord said, you are cursed, and on your belly shall you go. They cursed and base. But the Lord rose them up because we sinned against the Lord. So he put the worstest type of men up over us, man, to rule over the whole world, man, until we get back into rulership. So you see, oh, in Daniel 4:17, say the same thing. That's what the Lord say. To understand who's in rulership, it's what the Lord say. This is Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the most high ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whosoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. So the men that's in rulership right now is Esau eating the so-called white man, the physical seeds of Satan, man. So Lucifer in Isaiah 14 is talking about these so-called white men that's in rulership, your elites, your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, your Oppenheimers, your DuPonts, your Gettys. Okay, I got a whole list of right here in my phone. Let me read a few of them to you. Right here, the global. It say the globalelite.org globalists. Let me read some of these names to you. Probably can't see it. Let me see. I put it up on the screen one time. You see it? Lord Jacob Rothschild, his son Nathan, Baron David D. Rothschild, Sir Evelyn D. Rothschild, Benjamin D. Rothschild, David Rockefeller, Henry Kissinger, George Soros. You see it? I'm gonna give you the list of the top ones right here. So like that light. So like you. Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Oppenheimer, Goldsmith. Read some more. Rockefeller. It said Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Oppenheimers. And they give you some head top ones. Uh, it got all the names on here. It's a long list. Long list. It's a long list. Long list. Give you some names that you know though. You got Disney, McDonald, Goodyear. You got Getty's, the Gettys, that's another major. You got Mars, Coach, or Cooch, Kellogg, Perkins, S.C. Johnson, Cox, Johnson, Mars. It's a Saudi, the House of Saud, Getty, Reynolds, Whitney, Goodyear, McDonald, Disney, Bundy, Bush, Russell, Guinness, DuPont, Vanderbilt. It's a lot of them on here, man. These the ones. And listen, I did a lesson on this a while ago. Esau had 5 sons. 5. When you go to Genesis 36. Esau had 5 sons. There is no coincidence that Maya Amshor Bow will have 5 sons. Ain't no coincidence of that. The man had 5 sons, man. Esau had 5 sons. The Dukes of Edom, they called. I did a lesson on it. Okay? They're not Romans. They ain't Greeks. They ain't Caucasians. They're not so-called white. They ain't white. They are the Dukes of Edom, man. Prince Charles and them called themselves the Dukes, man. Well, they got that. The Lord already had it in the scriptures, man. These niggas is the Dukes of Edom, man. These are the physical seeds of Satan, man. Okay? So when you want to go look for the devil that's underground with a pitchfork and horns, you looking at them every day when you go to the plantation. You go to your job, or you go out to the grocery store and you see them, they all different shades of red and pink because they have no pigment, no melanin. That's the devil. The word devil just means deceiver, man. When you look at the word for devil in the Greek is diablos, which is accuser, brethren, deceiver, slanderer. Okay, they are the deceivers, man. And they tell you in Revelation 20. Revelation 20 tell you when these devils came out of the caves in the 1300s, they was going to go out through the earth and deceive the world with their iconoclasm, with their Renaissance art, which is whitewashing. That's why we got images of Jesus Christ, so-called white Jesus, or the so-called white God over there in the 16th chapel, the finger of God touching the finger of Adam, they white. The scriptures say the Most High and his son, who the word called Jesus Christ, are so-called black men from the tribe of Judah. And they had afros. He had no long hair. Afros, man. This devil was the one who destroyed the earth, that deceived the world, man. And it all came through Roman Catholic dogma. Oh, and before I close, I want to deal with this too, because she said, I don't teach hell, I teach the place. What's the difference? What's the difference? I rarely heard it because I put them on her, I posted on her comment board. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 20. There is no place called hell, man. There is no place called hell, man. Hell is a condition, it's a judgment, or it's the grave. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 20. This is what the Lord said. All go unto one place. She said, I don't teach hell. I teach the place. What place? The spiritual realm, heaven? Because nobody's up under the ground burning. Nobody. Not a murderer, not a nobody, man. Nobody's under hell burning. Nobody that's under earth burning in some place called hell with a devil with a red suit on and a pitchfork. The devil, hey, and this guy, what his name is? Muhammad Ali said all the time, man. The devil, you see him every day. And he is red. That's one thing is right. He is red. That's why I tell you in Revelation about that old serpent, that red dragon. It's talking about the Roman Empire. What color were they? Red. They are different shades of red and pink. You ever seen Trump? That's a real red devil. You ever seen the dumb one who showed you? I showed you the names of these elites. You ever saw? Hey, go to YouTube and type in Lord D. Rothschild and pull him up. Type in on YouTube Evelyn Rothschild and see how red they is. They are red, super red, man. We see red devils every day, man. I'm talking about real red devils. The Lord gave us a description of these devils, man, how they was gonna look. And you read on your channel, Tammy T, he came out red all over, like and hairy garment. Not that he was red and hairy, or he was hairy like a no, he was red all over like a hairy garment. And to tell you, I forgot the script. It's a scripture, I forgot where it said, but it tell you how they dyed the garments red, man. It tell you that that's how they did in the ancient time. They used to dye garments red. Okay, Esau came out red all over like a hairy garment. So you, when you out there, you do see the devil. Now all of them ain't from the so-called. They all ain't, because you got some people that look like that, but they fathers are Israelites. But we talk about the spiritual demon Satan and his physical seeds on earth, who's in rulership. Okay, which is the elites. Those are the physical seeds of Satan. Like I said, Esau had 5 children, and my Abshur had 5 sons. You can't make this up, man. Hey, so Lord was edifying. Oh, Salakia. Ecclesiastes 3 and 20. It say, all go into one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to the dust again. Who know the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of beast that goeth downward to the earth? So the person might say, well, why does the Bible talk about hell? Well, it's talking about a condition, a judgment, or the grave. Now in Revelation 20 and 14, when it say death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, that's talking about North America being put on fire by those missiles. And when it say the false prophet and the devil shall burn up, that's talking about North America, Babylon the Great, being destroyed with the false prophet, which is Roman Catholic Church and all these other religions that destroyed our people, trusting in some so-called white Jesus, man. That's the religion that the devil has set up. All that's gonna be destroyed, man, with fire. Okay? So there is no place called hell, but North America will be burnt up with the missiles. It say all go into one place. Everybody, the wicked and the righteous, all go into one place. And it say all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of beast that goeth down to the earth? Now here is Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. It reads, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. So if that's the case, who's in hell burning? If your spirit go back to the Lord when you die, then who's in hell burning? Nobody. Here's another one. Ezekiel 18 and 4. And it reads, behold, all souls are mine. Let's read verse 3, so you know it's coming from the Lord. Ezekiel 18 and 3. As I live, saith the Lord Yahweh power, ye shall not have occasion any more to use this proverb in Israel. Behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. But if any man be just and do that which is lawful and right, hey, he shall, Lord willing, be saved. But he said, all souls are mine. All souls. When we die, we go back to the Lord. There is no place called hell where you burn forever. That came from the Roman Catholic Church. And they lied. And when you go look up the documentary on that on YouTube, they lied to the people to get the people come to bring tithes and offerings, man. And what they told the people was, if you come and pay tithes for your family member that passed away, that died some untimely death, and you still mourning, because they tell you tell you in Ecclesiasticus that a righteous person is supposed to mourn no more than 7. Yeah, matter of fact, let me close with that. I think it's in 7. Let's see. They say let me see. Bear with me for a second. Uh, I want to find this real quick. Bear with me for a second. I'm gonna close with this. It said the righteous mourn 7 days, but the wicked mourn forever. And see what the Roman Catholic Church taught was, um, you can bring your tithes and offerings, and they can raise your family members. They can raise your family members' body out of purgatory. Now, what these devils said, they can go straight to God, but you gotta pay your tithes first, and they can go straight to God for you for any family member. You gotta pay the tithes first, and you can go. And the Catholic priest can go straight to God and relieve your soul and relieve your family member, mama, daddy, sister, brother, soul from out of purgatory. Right? You gotta pay your tithes first, and then they can go to God for you and get your family member soul out of hell. That's garbage, man. That ain't in the Bible. Ecclesiastes 22 and Ecclesiasticus 22 and 12. It say 7 days do men mourn for him that is dead. But for a fool, but for a fool, an ungodly man, all the days of his life. You see, 7 days do men mourn for him that is dead. But for a fool and an ungodly man, all the days of his life. You see? Yeah, right here. Let's read this. Ecclesiastes 22 and 11. It said, weep for the dead, for he have lost the light, and weep for the fool, for he wants to understand it. Make little weeping for the dead, for he is at rest. But the life of the fool is worse than death. 7 days do men mourn for him that is dead, but for a fool and an ungodly man all the days of his life. You always hear people. I was working with somebody a while ago when I was doing deliveries, talking about they mama birthday had just came up and she had been dead for like 10, 15 years. You still mourning. Listen, man, your family members back in the spiritual realm were all white on. They know that they're a Hebrew Israelite, they in all righteousness. And if it's not an Israelite, if it's a heathen nation, they know they coming back for slavery. But they in peace. We got to go through down here, man. But you see a fool mourn forever, but a righteous person the most 7 days. So these devils done taught our people, bring your tithes to the church, and we can go straight to God and get your family member soul out of hell. That's garbage. That's Roman Catholic dogma. That ain't in the Bible. We just read, when you die, your spirit go back to the Lord, man. You in peace. Until next time, I say shalom. The water for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema Shah continue blessing your houses. And you gotta give all praise honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, rule well, who teach well, for the apostles and the elders of all Israel, ready accepted or not. And a sincere saying takes me to Allah, can pushing this truth and believing this truth. But the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the whole for the elect. And shalom to that walk who are listening and learning. There few sisters who are listening and learning. Hey, and yeah, man, this chick talking about Cain and Abel was twins. The Bible don't say that. You add to the scriptures. And the Lord gonna destroy you people that add to the scriptures, man. And tell you in Deuteronomy, it's also in Proverbs, what's that, 30? Yeah, Proverbs 30, I think it is. And it's also in Revelation 22, man. From the Old to the New Testament, man. The Lord said don't add to the Bible, nor take away, man. She talking about Cain and Abel was twins. But then when she reading that video talking about God and Lucifer is brothers, what? Where you get that from? Now Yahweh and Satan might be brothers of anything, but why would Yahweh and Lucifer be brothers? What are you talking about? You is crazy. Yeah, man. Talking about God and Satan is brother. God and Lucifer. Still ain't answer my question. Is Lucifer and Satan the same entity? I want to answer on that. Tammy T. Talking about Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel was twins. Well, why did it say, and then she back Cain, and then she back Abel, and then they tell you in Genesis 25 where she read her lesson that it was twins in Rebecca's womb. So why didn't it say that Eve had twins in her womb then, if they was twins? Man, listen, you people need to stop adding to the scriptures, man. Oh yeah, and just a little side note. I just I'm finna watch this movie. I just saw on Tubi. It's a new movie. It's called Cain and Abel. I'm finna check it out. They got Cain and two young Jakes, little so-called Negro, little young Jakes. I'm finna check that out when I close up, Lord willing. It's called Cain and Abel. It's on Tubi. You know, Tubi free. So I don't know you want to check it out. I'm finna check it out and see if what it's worth. But it's called Cain and Abel. I just saw it before I started this lesson. But anyway, man, the water for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue blessing your houses. Stay prayed up. The water for your precepts. The water for the precepts. Hey, the water for tuning in. Again, may Yahweh Shema shall continue blessing your houses. Stay prayed up. Till next time I say, Shalom, Wah, Abba, Abba.